Hey guys, welcome into the PuggoReborn channel. Today we're going to be looking at the M18 Recoilless Rifle, otherwise known as the Crow Musket. It is a bazooka, and it has no recoil. I will tell you, however, with this, it should be deadly accurate, and it should have multi-facet purposes, okay? We're going to go over what the shells were that went into this thing and what it can actually take out. Do have some footage of battle, as well as a helpful guide to help us learn about this. If you do like this type of content, please hit that like, subscribe, and give me a comment. Let me know how it is. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
The 57mm recoilless rifle. Weight 40 pounds. Range 4,000 yards. Accuracy and effect comparable to the 37mm anti-tank gun. The 2 3/4 pound projectiles it fires are HE, HEAT, WP, and canister. With this ammunition, the new 57 has a muzzle velocity of 1,200 feet per second. The charge is contained in a perforated case, allowing powder gases to escape to the rear through carefully designed breech block openings. Test firing the 57. A 4-inch concrete wall. Damage resulting from an HEAT projectile.
Now we're going to go over what the M18 can do. I'm going to show you the little training course, we'll call it, that I set up for it, just because I want to see how good it actually is. I will say the M18 was not meant to be a super rocket launcher, okay? That's the M20. Hopefully they add it to the game. I imagine they will with maybe the next DLC down the road. But what I can tell you about this thing is it is devastating. It was great for taking out bunkers, entrenchments, gun nests, groups of soldiers, everything. It was just moving on from the M1A1 rocket launcher. I could be saying that wrong. Apologize if I did. I know there was the M9, but this was the next series. So it did, being a recoilless rocket, it was only I think 40 pounds, 44 pounds, somewhere in there, and then the shells itself would bring it to a total of 50 pounds when holding it. Had this little pod that you could put into the ground, give you really good accuracy, of course, the scope for various ranges. So it was deadly accurate. Now with the shells, like the HE shells being 57 millimeters, it's not a crazy big shell, but what it is it should be able to take these guys out. You should be able to use it on something like this. What we've got today for our training course is going to be the MG nests right here. We're going to try both of them. Group of soldiers at a table. We've got the Brandenburger squad. Sorry, we got the Brandenburger squad sitting inside the cafe here. We have the 105 sitting here with the soldiers manning it. Oh, one last thing I will say: the squads are it's a squad of 5 when you get this unit. You have the main M18 user. You also have ammo bearers. There's a bunch of ammo that comes with each one of these guys. I would suggest switching the ammo over to your gunner, just because it's just ridiculous. You get so much ammo for one unit, and I just don't think you'll use all of it. It is very cool, but just keep that in mind. So I just have one of each, just in case we have to do multiple tests here. All right, so starting out, let's go like this. I can check the range on this. So you're gonna get out to about 90. So 90 is the cutoff. So so 89. So when you are using this, there is an arc to it, so you can shoot over things. If you guys watched in the very beginning of the video, I show a portion of that. But let's use this HE. We're gonna use it we're just gonna fire right at the sandbags. Okay. So that is a successful hit, of course. The reload speed is pretty good. These guys totally wasted off it. Let's try something else. I did end up putting these guys, in fact, I'm going to go like this. I want you to see how close I can get to these, because let's just pretend for a second you're not shooting at an accurate pace. I want to be able to hit something nearby and see how much damage I actually do. So here we go. Okay. It was great enough to kill the soldiers off the MG nest. So guys, or actually knock them off the MG nest. This is still really good. In terms of how much damage they actually did, let's switch over and check them. So if we look at the soldiers, they are just about dead. These are also the Fallschirmjäger squads. So the reason I did this was because I wanted to do maximum health, because, you know, soldiers run up and grab these guns after they get destroyed. So just the normal soldiers that are sitting on the MG nest, they usually have 200 HP. Those guys would be completely gone. They'd be a part of history. The blood of history. So, but yes, these guys would be dead otherwise, but that's a really good little test to try out. Let's go back here. So next, we're going to shoot these soldiers that are standing at the table. Let's just, well, we already seen the effectiveness here, but let's go like this. I do wish, if Barber Studios, if you guys are watching this, the only thing I would say is if you could somehow get the animation where you can zoom into that scope and maybe give it a little more range, because this thing did have some more range than what we're seeing here. But let's fire that. Okay. So this was about at the feet. I was going for the chair here. In terms of how much damage these guys took, this soldier took a little bit of frag damage, a little bit of frag damage. So you saw that it was very effective. I mean, dead on here. But we need to have more effective. We need this to be a little more effective. So let's try to shoot that table. Okay, again, another soldier ends up dying. So that's not crazy. This is not a really good sign here. Let's go back, look at the soldiers again. Okay, so they barely hurt. This guy is barely hurt. Ammo bearers, I can't say it. Okay, there we go. So a direct hit on him obviously is going to kill him. It ended up killing his buddy too. So now let's look at the cafe. Let's pretend for a second you just see, you know, a lot of times you'll see soldiers scattered about inside these cafes, and as you saw earlier, we did end up doing structural damage to this. Let's actually shoot. Didn't end up doing anything that time, but there is structural damage you can do. You can blow walls open. So let's try this here. All right. So we're gonna hit the soldier in the back and see what kind of damage we do inside. There we go. That was a very nice kill here. Okay, so we killed 4 soldiers. Now, if you remember, they are standing in a circle. Nothing crazy, but it was in close quarters. And honestly, you got to remember specifically where you're going to use this is you're going to use it on targets that are close together. For instance, an artillery piece like this, or guys standing at a window. If I shoot the window, blows out the window, these guys didn't do much damage, so direct hits obviously are going to matter, and how far away is going to matter. There we go, so they're dead. All right, next thing we want to test out is going to be the artillery. So that's a good distance. I mean, that's a pretty dang good distance, but the accuracy, you see that cone, that white lining, that's going to be the piece that matters. So we did end up hitting right on the front. It took out the gunner. The loader is still alive. So let's try again. Again, we're doing this at a distance. I'm going to fire, let's say, towards that wheel. Okay. So the dispersal damage is not crazy. And we're going to switch back over. Let's look at what kind of damage. We ended up taking out one of the wheels. Really not crazy damage here. The soldiers themselves, the reloader he's halfway hurt. So let's just say, just firing towards the back. Again, I don't know if I like this. I'm not sure that I'm a fan of how this is working. I feel like the 57mm should be better. It's not a big burst, but in terms of like a grenade impact, you're doing more, I feel like. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, granted there's soldiers dead, but I'm going to use the HE, or the heat rounds. And so taking it out with a heat round is probably going to be your best bet. No two ways about it. I would probably do that against that. I wouldn't use the HE. Maybe if you're directly behind the artillery piece, but really if that's the case, you run up with a grenade and you can save the artillery piece and hurt everybody else. Next thing, I did end up adding soldiers here, and we're going to try the Willie Pete round. Now, if you don't know, Willie Pete is a phosphorus round, so you can light guys on fire. Tactically, this is phenomenal, okay? You get 2 rounds in total, so as you can see, this is actually, that impact still ended up killing this guy, which is pretty wild. So, anyways, just little cool things here. As we go through this, I want to let you guys know that we're going to do 2 shots per tank. Until we get to the heavies, we're going to do 3 shots. I'm going to go for the most advantageous opportunity to hit them. So keep that in mind as well. So I want it to be fair as best as possible. Well, I think it goes without saying that the rocket is pretty good for the most part, all the way up through Panzer IVs. Obviously, the plates on the Panzer IV and the Stug, I had to blow those off to get into the internals. So that's normal, though, I would say. You may be able to knock the plates off, but you got to be able to hit beyond that. So this is obviously really nice for the Germans having those plates on the side. So this was pretty much the result of it all. Of course, the lighter stuff was absolutely decimated, but I want to talk about the later stuff here. So the Tiger II, Tiger, and Ferdinand. So the Ferdinand, if you ever want to take this thing out, glacial plate right down here, if you can hit that, which is very difficult, or you can hit right into the sides, right underneath, again, by the tracks, and you can do damage inside them. That's what we ended up seeing. Otherwise, go for cannon itself. When it comes to the Tiger, same exact thing. You want to hit in between the tracks, or you want to hit the actual cannon itself. At the very least, take out the tracks. Don't allow it to go any further. I don't need to tell you guys all that, but with the M18, it has a multi-purpose use. It is a tactical rocket launcher. Recoilless, which I feel should have better accuracy at range. So I'm able to hit the church, and me in a kneeling position, that's too wide of a cone. That's my one thing that I'm really, or laying on the ground. These things are meant to be dug into the ground and be able to have really good accuracy. That is just simply not the case with these. So in terms of a rating and whatnot, with how many, as I'm going to put on the screen now, how many points it's going to cost and so on, I just don't think they're as worth it. If you're tactically able to use them to deploy the Willie Pete, or if you're using them to, I don't know, because of the ammo, how much ammo you get with one of the squads that you can get with them, fine. I think that's good too. But ultimately, while this is all nice, the rockets beforehand, like the M9 or the M1A1, is really nice. So it's up to you. Have fun with it. Give it a shot. Use it tactically. If I had to give it a score from 1 to 10, I like to do that with some of these videos, I would give it a 6, maybe a 7. Let me know what you guys think about the M18 recoilless rocket, and don't forget to leave a comment, like, if you did enjoy this video, and without further ado, I will see you in the next video.